If alcohol-free options help people bridge the gap from past-led to self-led, I say cheers to that. Let them support your process. But there is a part of this that nobody likes to talk about, and it's this. If you use those drinks, the non-alcoholic versions, in the same way that you would use booze, to reward, to escape, to avoid discomfort, you haven't changed the pattern, you've just rebranded the product. Here I go again on my own. Although I never feel alone. I always feel like I'm with you, strivers. You stop drinking, but the ritual is still there. The bottle, the clink, the unwinding. But now, instead of Stella, it is Heineken 0.0. Healthier, they say. Safe, they promise. Maybe it is, until it's not. But what if alcohol-free bottle that you're holding in your hand is still doing the old job? Soothing the part that doesn't want to feel and rewarding the part that thinks that you've earned it and calling it healing. Hello everybody, my name is LeeDavy. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same. Like right now, this week, across my Google alerts came an article in the Mirror, I believe, talking about and warning about the health risks, yes, get this, the health risks of drinking non-alcoholic beer. I wonder if the alcohol industry paid somebody to write it, right? Yep. They were saying, hey, it's okay if you want to drink this non-alcohol stuff to get away from the poison that's killing 3.3 million people a year. But just be aware, you might be fucking yourself up. And it made me pause a little bit, right? Not because I actually think non-alcoholic drinks are that dangerous. I don't, right? I actually think for some people they can be a lifeline. Especially for people like the single mums I coach, for example, you know, people who are doing everything on their own, looking after a million kids, no bloke to be seen anywhere, under-resourced, overjudged, and they need something to hold on to while they're building their new identity. So if alcohol-free options help people bridge the gap from past-led to self-led, I say cheers to that. Let them support your process. But there is a part of this that nobody likes to talk about, and it's this. If you use those drinks, the non-alcoholic versions, in the same way that you would use booze, to reward, to escape, to avoid discomfort, you haven't changed the pattern, you've just rebranded the product. At one point, I realized that the ritual was the real issue. The ritual was a problem, the reward loop, the craving for relief instead of relationship with myself, with others, and most importantly, with the present moment. Now, this isn't about being puritanical. It's about awareness. It's about asking, who's choosing this non-alcoholic drink right now? Is it myself, or is it a part just begging for one bloody moment of peace without having to feel anything? There's a big difference. We're going to take a short break, but as we do this, please sit with this question. Is your alcohol-free drink a choice, or is it a disguise? I'm going to have a quick drink. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast, where today we're drawing the line between support and substitution. Now, let me be clear. Living a self-led life doesn't mean you never treat yourself, right? Lots of people always say to me, oh my God, Lee, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't eat this, you don't drink that, and life must be a nightmare. No, it's not. It's free. I feel free that I don't have to have all those conversations, right? Living a self-led life, it means treating yourself with intention, with integrity. And when you step into integrity, a lot of the internal conflict actually stops. Last week, for example, I made the decision to stop drinking coffee and to take caffeinated tea, black tea, out of my life. Not because I think caffeine is a devil or anything like that, but because myself over many years now has kept whispering to me, this really doesn't belong here, right? I'm here to tell you that you know what is good for you and what isn't good for you. You do. You once you get out of here and you slide down here somewhere into your body, right? You start to feel what is good for you, what isn't good for you. And when that starts to happen, and you can start clear out the old noise. You feel more, you hear more, right? And sometimes what once felt like comfort, coffee, tea, suddenly feels like clutter, okay? Now, you might not be there today. You might still be drinking alcohol. You may be still eating sugar. You may want to be vegan, but you're eating meat, whatever it is. That's okay. You might get there one day if you choose to. And when you do, it won't be, hopefully, because somebody told you to. Because if you get there when somebody tells you to, now we're talking about willpower, and it's usually a part that got you there. Hopefully, you get there because something deep within you said, this isn't a match for who I am anymore. These things that I'm putting in my body are not vibrating at the same energetic frequency that myself is now vibrating at, because that is the real reward. Not a fancy label with a 0% promise, but the ability to stand in your body fully present without needing anything to numb, distract, or to fake the moment. And for strivers like us, this is our work, right? We don't just stop drinking, we stop avoiding and we start choosing. And we do it not for the applause, but we do it because our lives and our children deserve better models of what a reward really looks like. Okay, on to today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink. I will not reach for a ritual that keeps me asleep. Today, I will reward myself with presents, not pacifiers. Being alcohol-free as fuck isn't a destination, it is a commitment to truth. And sometimes the truth says, no more substitutes, just you, fully here, fully enough. As you go about your day today, think about this. What is the one thing in your life that still feels like a reward, but might actually be avoidance? Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. We can have a conversation about it. If this episode resonated with you, please just take a couple of minutes to rate and review the show. It will help more strivers find our tribe. Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if you want to do some of this work that we're talking about, get over to the strivemethod.com and join the Strive Method workshop. Okay, strivers, are you ready to take the Sovereign Vow for today? Put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, okay? And take a big deep breath. Okay, repeat after me. I am a striver and I am alcohol free as fuck. And I will not drink because that is not what I do and that is not who I am. Okay, everybody, until tomorrow, much love and strive on.